Assalamu alaikum. Sulaiman Rahim here. Welcome. Let's slay some demons. This is a continuation of the breaking the dumb barrier. Topic is slavery. We're going to have a short presentation here talking about slavery because we need to really understand what that's all about. So without further delay, again, we need to break that dumb barrier because right now, with the spatial side of creation, we have taken and personified the spatial side, that's the tribe of Shabazz, and we've personified the analytical side, that is Yakub's creation, and we're here battling together in the United States, we're battling for control. Because for 3 years we had the analytical side under control, but now since they have been given their backs, they're personified, right? You know, they're so-called independent. Now they're open rebellion. Open rebellion. See? And their desire is to eradicate us. Because that's the only hope for their survival is our eradication, our destruction, our obliteration. So we're going to talk about that. See? So we had to break that connection because right now we're under control of the analytical mind. Under control of the sealed Bible, which was their guidance. Okay. Two are together, locked together, but analytical mind has control. Farad came, right? That's the lightning that started the separation. Okay. Elijah Muhammad made that separation happen. But we got Lion Farrakhan that's trying to bring it back together and give the analytical mind control again. So let's back up here. So again, we're going to talk about slavery. Now, most of you think that we went through 40 years of slavery. It doesn't say in the Abrahamic covenant, it doesn't use the word slavery. That's the word they use. But it wasn't slavery. Look up the definition of slavery. Slavery is, right, when you restrict the rights of someone, and usually for the purpose of obtaining their servitude. Servitude. See? You're taking their labor by force. That's the normal idea of slavery. That is not what happened to us. Nothing near it. Look up the definition of slavery. See, that is an aspect of what happened to us. That's the wrong word. That's a whitewashed word that they're using to try to take and minimize what they did to us. They'll tell you, you know, this stuff. Well, everybody, slavery was universal. Really? Okay, when you came fleeing out of Europe from poverty, from tyranny, from disease, from oppression, when you came flying out of there from poverty, right? What country, when you spanned all over the globe, what country did you find that had another people enslaved? Name the country. Name one country, you historians, everything, name one country that you found on the face of the planet Earth that had another people enslaved within them. Name one. We'll take a step further. Name one country that you found that their people, right, were being oppressed by their rulers. Name one. Name one. Name one country that you found that was impoverished. People starving, it was impoverished. It was in poverty. Name one. go further. Okay. Name one where the people were not free. Name one that you found people, they were not free. Whatever your definition of freedom is. Name one. Name one that was diseased. Name one country found people were diseased. Name one. Name one. Now you found oppression of women in some countries, not anything near what you was doing. But name one that you found those conditions. Name one, because you cannot. Name one country that was settled on another country's land. Name one. Name one. No, because you were in that condition. That was condition Europe was in. They had tyrannical rulers, they had disease, they had poverty, oppression, they had all of that. And when you come fleeing, you was fleeing from that. And you brought that to every place you went. You brought poverty, rape, murder, oppression, tyranny, death. You brought that everywhere you went. You brought it. See? And to the extent that slavery did come into existence as a result of you, right? Even in the past, before you, in Roman times, slavery was exactly what the definition says. Most of the time, it was a result of war. The captives were brought in, and they was forced to produce, right? To give their labor by force. Their language wasn't taken from them. They weren't raped, right? They weren't diseased. Their humanity wasn't taken from them. That's your doing. They weren't subject to racism. Where did you find racism? Where did you find racism when you came out of fleeing from Europe? You brought it with you. You brought your superiority, even though everywhere you went, the people were more superior to you and civilized. They were more civilized than you. But you say it was heathens and they weren't Christians. They was animals, and you reduced them to animals so you could take what they had. That's how you became rich. So tell the truth, but you can't tell the truth. That's why Jesus said you're a liar and a murderer from the beginning. He said the truth. When you speak the lie, you speak of your own, because you're a liar by definition. That's why Indians call you forked tongue. You can't stop lying. You look on the news, all you hear is lie, 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 lies. That's all you hear is lies, lies, lies. That's all you know how to do. That's all you have done. That's all you know how to do. You're doing the works of Satan. You're not doing the works of the Jesus you claim to believe in. He would not condone those works. You worship people, right, that are pedophiles and rapists and oppressors. George Washington, Jefferson, you worship those people. What do those people have in common with the prophet, righteous prophet Jesus? They have more in common than Adolf Hitler. They were monsters, and so are you. You cannot find those bad conditions any place on the planet until you brought it there. Now you claim, oh, well, your capitalism is taking people, bringing them out of poverty that you put them in. In America, we're not impoverished. Why do you think you celebrate Thanksgiving? Because you thought that was celebration because they bought all this food that would shock you. You never seen anything like that before. They bought all this food and you had the best meal of your life. That's why you still worship every Thursday, every fourth Thursday in November. Because you never ate like that before when you wouldn't eat like that over in Europe. And then you saw it, and little did they know that was just an invitation for you to take it all from them, what you did. And you left them nothing. You took this whole 3,000 by 2,000 mile continent and then leave them a corner. You ain't even leave them one state. And what you did leave, you took that back. You're evil, no good people. And you're talking about that slavery. The brothers and sisters, this shouldn't be called slavery. That's just an aspect of what they did to us. Look up slavery. Does slavery include rape? Does it include murder? Does it include lynching? Does it include impoverishing? Does it include eating shit? Does it include all this? No. See, they say slave because they mild. Because slavery understood by the rest of the world was, like I said, if where to the extent it existed, which didn't exist very much, it wasn't universal, they say, to the extent it existed, right? It was forced labor and not forever. And even what they did over here in the American Indians, to the extent they did it, right, it wasn't forever. And usually, eventually became part of the tribe. Same way in the Middle East. If they conquered a woman from another country, whatever, they took the women, but their children became as their own children. They didn't put their children back in the field like you did. You go out and rape the woman, and your child, your own blood child, and you put him back out in the field, treat him just like the rest of the slaves, right? Until you got a little rich, then you bring them in the house. You call them house Negroes, but they were still niggers to you. And they made one little slip of lip, they right back out there again. So the only perk they had was you let them get close to you because you felt like, they was you, they were your children. So that wasn't slavery. That's obliteration because no nation ever did to another people. It took their identity and not only that, but none nation ever took the humanity from the people. The Romans didn't do it. The Babylonians, no one ever did it for it. They took the actual humanity from the people. You took our humanity away. You encoded in your constitution 3/5 of a human. You took our humanity away. It wasn't slavery. Slavery was a part of what you did. It wasn't what you did. It was a part of what you did. So get off this slavery stuff. Look at what slavery means. Nowhere in the dictionary does it include all those other things. Because you brought your own nature, your own it wasn't civilization. You brought all that stuff with you. You brought genocide, murder, rape, disease. You brought death to the whole planet. And now you put yourself like you're the saviors of the planet. Savior for what? Nobody wanted you. You didn't help anybody. Well, we're going to give everybody freedom. Did you bring us over here to freedom? Did you bring us over here to freedom? So if you brought us here to freedom, then who was our oppressors? In what way was we? If you say we're savages running around wild, that means we were free, weren't we? If we were savages, like you say, running around wild, at least we was free, weren't we? So what did you free us from? Being eaten by lions? That's what you say? It wasn't slavery, brothers. Just get up off that. That's their way to justify what they did. That's the whole story about Ham and all this kind of stuff. I'm not getting to that. I talked about that in previous presentations, right? But they're monsters. That's why they call in the Injil, they call in the Bible, they call in the Quran beast. The Quran says Allah will raise up a beast from the earth that will speak to you. They're beasts. Now I know I have a couple of people that stand with me, they keep referring to him as man, as the man, this man. They're not men. They're beasts. They look like men. What I call them mankind. They're kind of a man, that means they're not a man. You're kind of something, that means you ain't it. As the Bible says, they have a form of godliness, right? But deny its power. Because they have a form of us. See? But deny our righteousness, our godliness. They try to crush it, destroy it. So I'm going to say a couple more things, then we'll wrap this up. This gets a little more complicated here. Because We don't understand our creation. That's why you have to thorough knowledge yourself. See, all our hearts are connected because heart's rhythmic, right? It's where the music comes from. See, that's why every time our condition changes every 50 years, the music changes, reflect our condition. First we had the blues because we know what the hell we was doing. They let us go. We know what to do. You throw us out in the cold with no money, anything, no education, nothing. And we had the blues. We didn't know what the hell to do. Got a little jazzy 50 years later. Then, hey, we got a little soul. A little after that, we start calling stuff black, and froze, and you know, and now we're getting ready to take a throne back. So what kind of music that's going to be like? You were here in a few days. See, the heart's connected. And that's one of the reasons why I said all the different kinds of ways. One of the reasons why we was sacrificed to come over here to the beast, to civilize the beast. He was made to make mischief, shed blood, to civilize him, to make him, to slow him down, calm him down, so he don't just tear up the whole damn world. How you do that? How you do that? See, because they were evil beasts. The hearts are connected. Remember, it said Daniel was getting a beast heart. How do we get a beast heart? We got it from them. Because it was more them than us, and we right in the heart. And the closer your heart is like an antenna, the closer you get to the source, the stronger the reception. So being dominated by them, right? Their wicked heart was overpowered our righteous heart. And so we start acting more like a beast. But remember, it's a two-way street. But our righteous heart was living up their wicked heart, while their wicked heart was pushing our righteous heart down. So we civilized them to the extent they got civilized. Because we had to come up here, they'd be stock raving wolves, like I said, like wolves. I mean, they'd be totally vicious. We calmed them down. We gave them a 7-6. So now they start talking about, well, freedom. We're going to start treating, because, see, they start so different than the Europeans was talking. Oh, sometimes freedom and justice and all that kind of, they're talking those kind of things, right? And we Bill of Rights. They weren't doing that stuff before. They got that because our influence, our righteous heart influence, because we was free before we came over here. Those concepts were in our mind. So they converted to the analytical way of thinking, but they started treating each other a little better because it influenced our heart on their hearts. Like our music influences people, doesn't it? You can take somebody real angry, you turn to me, also, man, they feel good because that's it's coming from the heart. So our righteous heart calm there. But at the same time, right? Because if you lift to somebody else, it means they're pushing down on you, you're pushing up on them. It's a two-way street. So their wicked heart changed us, our hearts to a beast heart. And our heart changed theirs to a civilized heart. And that's why they need us here, right? We're their wealth, not only just their creative wealth, but their spiritual wealth. Because once we separate from them, they're going back to the beast they really are. And we're going back, that's what it will be. We'll be changed a twinkle of an eye, and they will be changed a twinkle of an eye. They go back to being the beast they are, and we'll go back to being the righteous people that we've always been, that we are right now. Only reason why we acting like we acted, because we're right in the center of the hurricane. Right in the center of it. So don't get it twisted. That's why we need to separate it. We don't need going nowhere on stuff. See, he's one of them. He's just a vicious beast just like they are. He's been sucking parasites, sucking out people's blood and pimping his shit. And these niggas sit there, tell me they FYI, and then you see him pimping his sisters, don't say a damn thing about it. Got them out there on the streets doing fundraisers so he could run his ass over town and play his little stupid ass guitar and talk this bullshit. You understand? With disavowed ass. And you brothers don't say nothing? That means you pimps too. Because he ain't doing nothing with that money. When he get the money, what do you do with it? Is he building anything with it? Is he getting anything back? No, because they told him, you make sure the Nation of Islam never raises his head again, ever. Because Elijah Muhammad scared the hell out of him, right? Because he started giving us our own vision, and they're afraid of our vision. They're trying to stop our vision. People without a vision perish. Elijah Muhammad gave us our own vision, started their own thing, and Farrakhan's taking us back to their vision. They said, oh no, Sunni isn't anything. Just don't give them their vision. Don't give them their own vision. And so that's his purpose, to make sure our vision never takes hold again. Because he's not giving you our vision. He's lying. He said he's giving you Elijah Muhammad's vision. No, he's not. He's saying, we'll stand here. Elijah Muhammad said, you'll be fools to stay here in the land and be imprisonment. Right? See, he wants 6 days over here. He wants to stay next to Master. He's a demon. He wants to fit Master's attack. This our country belongs to us. All this BS, right? Because if you understand our nature, that's why I said you cannot return your thorough knowledge yourself. Because once you have thorough knowledge yourself, the only solution is to get the hell away from them. If you're in a pig pen, the only solution is to get the hell out of the pig pen. You ain't gonna never get clean in the pig pen. You gotta get out of it. Oh no, I'm moving this corner of it. We're still in the damn pig pen. We're still in the plantation. You gotta get out of it. All the way. Then your heart's revived. It says, read in Daniel. I mean, I talked about a little bit. It talks about the lion. See, in the Daniel, the lion is us. See, in the AL-INJIL, the lion represents Africa. But in Daniel, the lion is us. It says, he watched the lion, the eagle wings was plucked off the lion. The eagle wings, who's the eagle? Eagle represents America and Britain, right? They was, right? Because wings represents democracy. It was plucked off of us. And then was made to stand up and given a human heart, a human mind, because they'd be plucked off us for us to get our mind back. Because we got to get away from them. This being plucked off, we have to get away, get our mind back. As long as we're here, we'll never have our mind back, ever. Because the reception, wickedness is too great. See? The only way we get overpower it is we overpopulate them, and that's why you make sure you have abortion and stuff, that you do not population stay a certain level, because they know if you become more numerous than them, then that means our hearts overpower theirs. See? And they ain't gonna never let that happen. They make sure it never happens. See? All kinds of reasons. Abortion ain't just the only thing stopping you having babies. Birth control, getting hysterectomies. You know, they say this thing, right? They're giving these vaccines. They say right now that they're gonna cause sterilization. But then when you got 1 million black men in prison, they ain't making any babies, are they? And when they're in prison during their fertile years. And they make sure they will never come out until they're too old to make any babies. And you don't see what's going on? Because they understand more of this than you think they do. They don't understand all. They understand enough of it. It's the relationship between our hearts and their hearts. This is not just talking, brothers and sisters. Our hearts are affected by them. That's the base of how that tuning works. See? They're all affected. And so your mind, the mind that you have, is not your mind. Or most of us, mind is mostly influenced by other minds around us. We don't even know it. So you think that your thoughts are not. So all of a sudden you get this thought in your mind. Oh, you're male, right? All of a sudden, you get this thought, man, I think I'm going to check out some of them brothers over there, you know what I mean? Where you get that thought from? How's the thought get in your head? Then you look around, you just got past the gay bar. Or you got some gay neighbors. See? That's their thinking. And so that thought pops in your mind. And some of it's so strong that it will cover your mind, then you think that's you, and that's not you. You have no understanding, brother, of what's going on with you, what's happening with you. That's why you have to have a thorough knowledge of yourself. So this is all, like I said, this is all about slavery. That was not what happened to us. That was just an aspect of it. It doesn't include rape, murder, incest. They had you sleep with your own mother. They didn't care, right? Just to produce a child. That's part of the reason why you have a lot of homosexuality right now, because that's one of the laws. You can't do that because you mess up, you understand, your nature. See, you don't know who you are. That's where a lot of that comes from. That's why someone's exploding, right? There's some of them like that. Some of them born like that as a result of incest and everything. Some of them are like that simply because, right, they're influenced by other people's thoughts, other people's heartbeat, because that's what it says in the book. It says, some of you were like that. It says, because it says, why? I'm doing things I don't want to do. I'm doing things I would not do. I'm acting the way I don't, that's not me. It says that's the condition you're in, and you don't know why. And it says only Suleiman could save you from that condition. That's what it says in there. Read it. Because it says some of you are like that. It means some of you are like that because you're influenced by the wicked thoughts of this nation, and you may be in a situation where you around people that thinks like that a lot, and it's overwhelms you. You may have somebody close to you and think like that, and you don't even know it. And you pick up their thoughts and don't realize it. And so now you think they're your thoughts. Slavery was not what we went through. It was an aspect. Went through, they tried to destroy us, eliminate us. See? And annihilate. Annihilation is a better word. Because they took our humanity. We were not even treated as human. Was fed as pigs. That's one thing Oprah, I got with her, I can't find it now, so you have to look for it, but she had the slave papers. And one of the things they showed was they fed you just like they fed pigs. They have a trough, and they pour chitlins and shit in there, and you go and eat, and you have no forks, no feed, just like the pigs ate. That's what they treat us. That's what they're hiding, and you can take and listen to all this crap they're talking about, these Negroes, like Senator Tim Scott, oh man, American, I raised them, because they're all demons. They're part of it. That's the way we were treated. That was not slavery. That was bestiality, that was beast. It was in the grasp of the beast. You understand? It was not slavery. So they say, well, everybody was doing slavery. Well, maybe they might not have been. Like I said, show me where it was practiced at, and show me where it was practiced and you can bring what's happening here, what they did to us, call that slavery. It was not slavery. It was way beyond slavery. You can't connect with the Holocaust and that kind of stuff. Because they try to say, oh, no, it was 1,000 times worse than that. Like the Quran says, persecution is worse than slaughter. And this went on for 40 years. And we see those picture slaves back there. If you go back and check the records, a person like 80 years old, I guarantee he was more than 40. Because they put you, as soon as you, early before you can wake up, you was out in that field before the sun, and you stayed there all day, back breaking, work all day until late at night. And then they feed you like a poor hog, and then you go and sleep in a little shack, and before you can even turn over, you back out in that field again. See, it was already suffering energy deprivation, so that causes age 10, 20 times faster. You're lucky, well, not lucky, because we want to live in that condition. You're lucky if you just died right away. But as far as years concerned, 40, 50 years, very seldom a slave got that bit old. And the women, she out there, they didn't care if she on a cycle or not. She out there, she got to go to the bathroom right there. You do it right there where you pick up that cotton. You ain't going to no privacy. Right there. What you got to do? And you keep on picking that damn cotton. And then the taskmaster, some of them was house Negroes, some of them was master's boys, right? And they felt the urge, they jump right down you, rape you right there, or make you do their thing, you know, the things they make you do. Right there. In front of everybody. And then you go right back to picking cotton. And you gonna tell me that's slavery? And take your children away? And rape them right in front of you, your little toddlers, your little infants? They're pedophiles. They're coming and rape them right in front of you. and make you do all sex on them and everything else they was doing. Not just the men, they make them, not just the women, they make the men do all sex on them. These people are sick. Look what they do right now when they have the law. They're under the law. If they do these things now under the law, what do you think they could did when the law was on their side to do anything they want to you? There was no limit to what they could do to you, none. You see how sick they are now. So what if you was under the thumb of one of these sick people when he could do anything he wanted? He could treat you. In other words, there was more restrictions on how he treated animal than how he treated you. There was no restriction on how he treated you, none whatsoever. There was restriction on how he treated dogs, other animals, but not you. So don't call it slavery because it wasn't. Get up off of that. That's how they typically whitewash. Oh, we were just slavery. That was our original sin. No, if it was slavery, it wouldn't have been like not so much of what they did to us, how they did it. If it was just slavery, it'd been a whole different issue. It's been bad, but that was way beyond that. That's why it says God is going to punish them more than he's punished any nation in history. It says no nation will be punished worse than he's going to punish these people, because there's no way he could ever repay them for what they did to us. There's no way. Because you'd have to have a mind as wicked, evil as theirs, and we don't have that. We can't. See? You have the evil imagination like they had. They did all kinds of haters. Right? When you died, they didn't bury you. See, I didn't want to say this before. See, because I try, sometimes, God, I'm not trying to get anybody to go out and start doing something crazy. But they chop you up and feed you to pigs. But not only that, if they ran food, they chop you up and feed you back to the slaves. They'll be mixed into that. Obviously, they fed you because they fed you. I mean, it was like slop, pig slop. That's how they fed you. And Oprah had pictures of that in her thing. They gave you a trough and they poured it in there, and that's where you ate it just like the pig ate. And what that's what time that slavery wasn't. So get up off of that. We tell our children the truth. See? Because you've been lying to them, that's why they messed up. You tell them, don't think. You punish them for thinking. You say, oh, how can yeah, because you give them Christianity, right? Where's the thinking process in there? But if they ask you a question, you tell them, no, you can't think. Because if you think, you got to ask questions, you're going to go to hell forever, never, never. So in other words, you punish them, you tell them, they better think in their formative years. They can't ask you questions about their own religion. That's supposed to be their reality. Remember, that's their reality that you're giving them. And they can't ask you any question about. So if they can ask you a question about anything, they should ask you about that, because that determines their life, their afterlife, and everything else. They can't ask you a question about it because you don't have any answers. You tell them just gotta have faith. They can't question it, right? And you got a picture of Master on the wall. So if Master said that's where it is, so you still tell them to obey Master. And you're sick and you're killing your children with that crap, and then you can't understand why they're turning back on your ass. And you can say why they dumb down in school, they can't learn anything, because you already told them they better not think about the most crucial thing in their life they cannot think about. The most crucial thing in their life they cannot think about. That's reality. And the reality you gave is a lying reality, it's a false vision, and they cannot ask you questions about it. Because they do, they're going to hell for never, never, ever again. Because Master on the wall don't like it. Because Master come and tell them, they have to listen to what Master says. Because Master tells them, just have whatever Master says about it. You don't think, you accept what Master says. That's what he told you in slavery. That's what the Master's preacher told you, because that was his son, his blackface son. That's what he told you, and you're still doing it right now. Oh, praise the Lord, praise Jesus, right? So why can't your child ask you about that? Why can't he be critical about that? Why can't he? So if he can't be, why you get mad at him when he's not asking questions in school? Why he's not critical in school? You already told him that when the most critical thing in their life, they better ask questions about it. They better think about it. They better not use logic or reason. Better not. So you told them that before they even got to school. But then when they get to school, they stop using their logic, and reason is suspended or delayed because you didn't encourage it when they was learning to walk and talk. So now you understand why they dumb down, why they're interested in learning, why they're not logical. Well, why are you so dumb, kid? You can't make, you can't, I think, you can't understand, you can't figure out. No, they can't because you told them not to. You told them not to. So I'm just saying to you, brothers and sisters, you better, you're going to wake up in a minute, but you might wake up on the wrong side of this thing. Because you better read carefully. Because that light's about to shine, come on. Me and Watts, practice stating when they turns light on statement, all of a sudden night looks like day, and you walking around, you got devil on your arm, see, cross around your neck, cigarette in your mouth. See, selling dope. You caught doing all that stuff, and all the other stuff that you're doing. Light, come on, you caught like that. You better read what it says. It says those invited to the supper of the Lamb. So they showed up, and then he looked around and says, "Hey, how come you wasn't dressed for the? You was invited, but you wasn't dressed. That means you didn't come. Well, you come with a devil. You got a curse on. Wait till he got angry, threw their ass in the fire. The lights come on, brothers. You better be careful. Like Elijah Muhammad talked about that too. Lights come on. You better be careful where you are when the light come on. The condition you in, because it's gonna be a bright light. It's gonna show everything. It's gonna show everything. You ain't gonna be hiding anything. See, sleep with the devil, sleep with demons, playing with demons, kissing Farrakhan's ass, his demon ass. When you know damn well that man is a demon, he's Aaron, he's a son of a he ain't all that stuff he claimed he is. Allah's disemboweled his ass, just as a clear sign. Okay, bro, so that's what I say again. It was not slavery. Don't let them keep saying that because they whitewashing it, they trying to downplay it. It's like saying, you been raping somebody, then you're gonna say, well, it was just sexual harassment. Sexual harassment? Then you got one clown says, oh man, well, they was indentured slaves, but it was a mild form of slavery. And these other ones tell you, we gotta be patient. That's what you're just saying to Tim Scott, like, oh yeah, be patient. We come a long way. Why we gotta be patient? Why, if y'all so good, so holy, so good, why we gotta be patient to be treated like a human? By definition, what he's saying is you're not being, if you gotta be patient, that means you're not there yet. So why are you not there yet? Who's keeping you from being there? You don't get it, bro. Says, see, the reason why you don't get it? Because your mother and father did to you what you're doing to your children, so you don't use logic. We can't penetrate your mind with logic and reason because what's done to you doing to your children, what your parents did to you. So you chose to spin logic because if you thinking logical, reasonable, you would not have you would not be doing what you're doing, and you would be able to receive this message right away because it's logical, reasonable. But you are the same condition your parents put you in that you put your children in. See, and that's why it's going to take these four winds to knock that shit out of you. Because nobody's no more logical than a person that's hungry and starving and is back against the wall. They get very logical then. See, very logical. It's like when somebody owe you money, you're very logical. When you owe them money, all of a sudden you're, oh man, confused. But when they owe you money, you get very logical. So these four winds is going to knock the hell out of you, and you're going to be very logical then. That's what it's going to take. See, because you up against the wall, you ain't be worried about no NFL, the NBA. When you, like I say, what was that song that says, when your stomach growls, it moves your mind. When your mama's stomach speaks, it moves your mind, something of that nature. That's what's going to happen, brother. When they attack you, when they come at you, the ones that you love, those devils, they come at you, eyes bloodshot, blood streaming down their teeth, so blood, so beards, because they're hungry, they come at you, they eat your ass. See? But they'd rather eat you than eat their dogs. They said they're going to eat their own children. You think it's going to happen here? It's about to happen here. Light's coming on. It's going to be bright for us, but dark for them, because our light makes dark and blinds them. And when the four winds blow like that, brothers and sisters, and you're faced with the truth, all of a sudden your brain going to kick into logic gear. Reason.
logic.
See? Because you ain't gonna be asking no mystery, look for a mystery God to bring you some food. You go look for some food. You sit home praying, oh, I need, Jesus, we hungry. I need some food for my children. No, you're gonna go get some and you don't care how you get it. See? And when they come after you, because their friends will say, you're gonna be very logical then. You see now, oh, all this BS you're doing, okay. So you're doing your children what your parents did to you. We understand it. Don't be weak, because when you talk to you about, don't talk about religion, right? Why? Because it's illogical. But that's the base of your reality. See? So you should spend a lot. So it means that affects everything else you do. Okay, brothers, I hope you understand. It's not slavery. That was the aspect of it. Slavery does include genocide, murder, rape, sodomy, right? All the stuff they was doing, all the other creepy stuff they was doing, right? Filthy stuff they was doing, corrupt. I mean, stuff you can't even imagine that they did imagine. No, that they was doing. That's not in part of the definition of slavery. Slavery is just, like I said, um, take someone's labor by force. They went way beyond that. So don't let them keep telling you slavery. I wouldn't let them use the word around me. Don't come into my slavery. That wasn't what you did to us. You took our humanity for hundreds of years. The dog had more power than we did. Assalamu alaikum, brothers and sisters. Assalamu alaikum.